Hey guys, what's up? It's once again mp4podcast.com and got a little theater mode video right here of some Halo 4 that I've been playing. Halo 4, if you jump into Halo 4 and you like free for all, it's called Renegade. That's just a quick little tip. And another reason why I like Halo 4 is that I haven't played Reach, but they've added in the running, which was always kind of a downer for me after playing lots of COD. I was like, this game is slow, and so running is now in Halo, and I actually like Halo for probably not as much as COD, but I still enjoy it and I still play it. But what I really want to talk about is the new Steam box, which is coming out. Oh, I just died. The new Steam box is coming out next year, so next year is going to be really interesting. We're probably going to have like three console launches, probably within the same month, and that's going to be crazy. Last time I remember, two console launches. Actually, there was two times it happened with the GameCube and the Xbox. I believe they were off by 1 or 2 days. Can't really quite remember. And then I think it was about maybe a week difference. It was the PS3 and the Wii, and that was actually pretty exciting. So I remember what two console launches were like, right around the same exact time. Either a couple of days or a week off from each other. But now we're going to have three console launches. We have the Xbox 720, if that's what it's going to be called, the PS4, and the Steam box. And so you're probably looking, if let's say, these consoles can be anywhere from five, four, or $400. I mean, these consoles are going to be a little bit more powerful, maybe a lot more powerful than the Nintendo Wii. So it's going to be a pricey holiday season. Let me just tell you that. But Steam actually has a lot of good things going for itself. Steam is going to be using Linux. And there's a lot of people who know Linux. I remember when the PS2 came out, a lot of people hated Linux. They didn't really want to program for Linux. But now there's a lot of developers who are actually really good with Linux you know, because they had a program for the PS2 and the PS3. So that's not going to really be that much of a problem. I'm not really quite sure if the PS3 was hard to program for Linux, maybe because Sony made their own customized version of Linux. But I don't really see that being a problem at all. And a lot of people are talking about, hey, Steam, please let this console be upgradable. And having consoles being upgradable isn't something that's new. It's actually been done quite a few times. And the first console that I remember, which was upgradable, was either the PC Engine, which is the name of it in Japan and in Europe, and then the TurboGrafx 16, and there was the CD base add-on or the CD upgrade. I think there were two upgrades, and they were just a memory upgrade with a card. Then we had the Nintendo 64. There was a 4 meg memory upgrade for that. I believe that was for Resident Evil 2 or maybe some other games. I know the Star Wars Pod Racer used it, and there was a huge difference in graphic texture quality on the Nintendo 64 and the Resident Evil 2 by just adding in 4 extra megs of RAM on the Nintendo 64. And then there's the Sega Saturn. And I'm just right now. I'm just camping, so it's gonna be a little slow for the next few seconds. I'm trying to snipe this guy. I'm not really a sniper, but I'm trying to get used to it. Probably should have been shuffling around a little bit, but Street Fighter versus X-Men, that had a 4 meg upgrade for the Sega Saturn. And that allowed for four players to be loaded into the game at one time, like Spider-Man, the Hulk. You have Ryu and Bison, and you can just be tagging in and out. And that was at a time where they really couldn't do that with any of the consoles because there wasn't enough memory in the system. And we're seeing games, a lot of side-by-sides, Black Ops 2, what does it look like compared to the PC version? And the PC versions do have much better textures. So the better textures actually, can make a game look a lot better. I mean, they're, higher res textures and so on. So, if they can make a console where it's very easy to upgrade, I don't think people want to be going to Best Buy or, any of these places where you buy RAM and buy sticks of RAM and open it up like a real PC and then, sticking RAM in. That's not going to be a problem for people who know how to upgrade PCs, but, you're talking about people who, aren't tech savvy. They just want to buy their console, and if there's an upgrade, just stick it in there. If it's like in a low cartridge or something like that, easy upgrade, that's fine. And I also think, there could probably be CPU upgrades. If the ATI or an NVIDIA has a new graphics card, they can simply upgrade that. Maybe there could be like a little cartridge upgrade, somewhere in the system, and just slug that in. Now, I was listening to Review Tech USA's point of view on console upgrading, and in some ways I agree with what he said. In some ways, I don't want to say disagree, but I'm just saying that there could probably be some problems with console upgrading. And he was saying, like, let's say you didn't upgrade your box, your Steam box, you could, the system would know just to load the minimum requirements. And we're seeing, being an app reviewer like me, I see that a lot with, games that are still for the iPhone 3GS and then for the iPhone 5. And there's a big hardware gap between those two devices. A5 processor, a gig of RAM compared to a 600 megahertz processor and 256 megs of RAM. And they're able to do that, but a lot of times there is some hardware glitches in that. Some games aren't, running stable on sometimes the older devices or so on. So that's something they're going to have to make sure that they're very key on, and they're not going to let that slip up at all, because I don't want to have the older Steam box. If I didn't buy the memory upgrade or the CPU upgrade, I don't want to have any hardware problems, because I do know that that is an issue with iOS. However, with iOS, a lot of times they do upgrade. They'll do a upgrade to a game and they'll fix that problem, but I don't want to see those problems at all. And the other thing is, there's a lot of Steam fans out there who are probably going to be buying this console on day one. And the other thing is, the Steam always had games on sale, and I'm talking about cheap games. I'm talking about deals that are better than what you get on PSN or Xbox 360. And if they can make a game where if you buy it on the Steam box and then you can play it on your PC, I think that's actually going to be a big plus. One-time purchase for things like that. And the only time I really see these great deals is on iOS or on Android. I'm not sure about Windows Phone, but if they can stop bringing out games that are really cheap and affordable, and when they're old, sell them for $5, so on, or like 70% off and so on. And hopefully, I was hoping I was going to be able to kill this bastard right here, but he still got me. I like Halo 4. I like the ability to run, but it's different than COD, and still trying to get used to it. But PlayStation doesn't have that, where you can buy games for the PC and then play them on your PS4 or whatever. So if you're buying a next gen console and I want to buy whatever the new hot game is, I can buy it on Steam and then play it on the PC or my Steam box and have the controller right there. So that's going to be a big plus if they can pull something like that off. Maybe Microsoft could pull something like that off with because their Windows and so on. But it's going to be interesting what Steam in their marketing plan, because right now Steam does have kind of a console already available. It's more of a beta software, and I think they call it the Steam Experience. I'm not sure what it's called. I forget what it's called, but I'll leave the information in the description box of this video. And basically, they have some games right now that are that are made to be hooked up with a controller, just like Xbox 360. So the experience is the exact same experience that you would get on Xbox or PS3, but it's on a PC. So basically, you just take your PC, you hook up the HDMI, and get any controller you want, and you have a Steam console. But that's kind of a pain in the ass to be running a computer cables over to your big set TV set. So they want to have a customized box and make it smaller, more easy to hook up to your system and so on. I want to see where this timeline is. But I think Steam is going to be. I mean, it's going to be an interesting console war. Maybe I'll get all the consoles, but I'm not gonna be paying top dollar for these consoles when they first come out. Maybe I'll get one of the consoles at at full price. Maybe an Xbox 720, if that's the one I want to use, because I do like the Xbox Live experience. I know Steam is similar, but there's some good things about recording voices on Xbox 360, the way the chat works with the headset and stuff like that, and you're able to split cables into a sound mixer. So that might be something that I might want to stick with. But I think, to tell you the truth, there's going to be a real change. I think maybe somebody's going to step out of this console race. I don't want to see any of these companies step out of the console race. But right now, Microsoft and Sony are kind of in a bad position. Not really from the console per se, but overall as a company. Sony is losing a lot of money. We all know about Sony bleeding. I'm hoping Sony can turn that around. Microsoft is losing money. People aren't buying PCs as much. They're buying tablets. Either it's iOS or Android or so on. So Microsoft's having a hard time with that. Also, companies, big corporations, they're not buying Windows anymore. They're buying Linux computers because Linux is free and it's cheap. They can get like Ubuntu, Open Office, some free software. So Microsoft and Sony are not really doing that well, and it's going to be interesting in how Steam does, because Steam is doing really good on the PC, and I think they could do really well in the living room. So it's going to be really interesting in seeing how well everything turns out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Really interested in what you guys thinking, because I don't know. I'm thinking Xbox 720 might be my next console, but I am interested in the Steam box, and maybe I'll get all the consoles, but I'm gonna get them at the price drops, because it is going to be a very expensive next year console race. So yeah, once again, let me know what you guys think, and have a good one, guys. Love you guys. Bye.